What's good, y'all? Welcome back to another album review. And today, if you haven't already read the title, we are doing the most anticipated album. I feel like I've been saying this for the last two album reviews, but honestly, this is another anticipated album, surprisingly. And today, we are going to be doing Baby Keem Casino. This is Baby Keem's second studio album. Yes, second studio album released February 20th, 2026 under PJ Lang and Columbia Records. So without any further ado, man, let's hop into this album review.
No security nowadays, I'm with gang. Put a pause on the lifestyle, I grew up and changed lanes.
First song we got on here is No Security. I thought this song was honestly very, very good. It caught me off guard because I have not personally listened to Baby Keem since Melodic Blue. I'll put it on the screen. That album I think came out in 2021, so it's been a long time since I've heard Baby Keem's voice, but hearing him on this song was just so different. But I have to start off with the production. The production isn't nothing crazy. It's really just a sampling in the background, no beat type, no different kind of bass to it, but it was very just like fitting because he was telling a story, and that's why you just hear the sampling and not really that, crazy beat type that you hear under samplings, which isn't a bad thing, but I just feel like for this one, it was definitely best for there not to be a B type, if you know what I mean. And then when we get into the lyrics, I feel like he sounded very different. Like he sounded like he hit puberty in a sense. Like he just sounded more like well grown. I feel like he was more knowledgeable to like how he was able to approach this kind of song, and I feel like he gave a good storytelling. I know he's not high on just being lyrical, but I feel like his storytelling on this was very, very good. I would say this is one of the better intro songs I've heard in a very long time because I feel like many people don't focus on intro songs as much, but this intro song is like really, really good. So I'm definitely giving it a thumbs up, and definitely I would say one of the better songs within the album.
I'm having trouble with my 911. Smoking your chest and I know it way heavy. I'm out of a ride, dog, you gotta come get me. Why she always talking like she understand me?
Next song we got on here is self-titled Casino. I thought this song was pretty cool. It's one of those mainstream songs that you want to get radio play because it is a more hype song. It is a more like, go crazy at a festival kind of song. Like it's really that kind of song. So when we start off with the production is very fitting for Baby Keem. It definitely sounds like something Kendrick could have even been on, but I'm not like the biggest fan, but I could respect the beat type only because it surrounds him as a rapper. Like it fits him more than maybe any other rapper that could have been on this particular beat. But there was also a second beat to this that I thought was decent. It's just a really like fast paced, like hyped up like beat type, even on the first and the second one. So like I said, not the biggest fan of it. It wouldn't be something I consider one of the better beat types, but it's okay. It's fair. And then when we get into the lyrics, he was just spazzing. He was just going crazy, spitting at a fast pace. He had good, gosh, what's the word I'm thinking of? He had good cadence. That's the word I'm thinking of. He had very good cadence throughout this song. He kept the steady pace, and he was just really just like freestyling on here. There wasn't nothing that was really a standard for this song. This song was just a okay song, but good to play in the car if you want to get hyped. Good to play at a festival. Good to play at a park if you hooping. If you know, you know. So I say this song is safe for the most part. Not a song I would listen to all the time, but a safe song either way.
Monday, Tuesday,
Next song we got on here is Birds and the Bees. I kind of like this song in a way. It's very mellow, it's very laid back, and it kind of took me by surprise, and I'll tell y'all why. I feel like when we get into the production is very like nostalgic in a way. It's very kind of 2000s kind of hip to it, but it's good hip to it. And I feel like the sampling in the background was honestly pretty good. It's a very slow pace, like kind of moody song, but it fits very well. And then when we get into the lyrics, I feel like the sound of Baby Keem was definitely very chill, laid back. He didn't do too much. He just kept a steady, flow going, and I thought that was pretty cool. I feel like his cadence on here was very well put together with the beat type and with just the production as a whole. And I don't know, man. Like it was just like one of those things where it was very fitting for the most part. So I would say this is one of the better songs, maybe one of the more underrated songs, but this album just like came out a couple months ago, so I'll give it time to like breathe, but I would say possibly a better song than the other song I just previously named. So I could listen to this every now and then.
You used to call my phone on a Friday night. It's been over twice.
All right, next song we got on here is Good Flirts featuring Kendrick Lamar and Momo Boyd. I think we were destined to get a Baby Keem and a Kendrick song at some point. I thought this song was pretty well put together. I love the context of it, and I'll pretty much dig into it. I feel like when we go into production first, I feel like it's very fitting based on the subject that matter of what they're talking about. I think it was just a really mellow, just kind of laid back kind of sound, and it had a pretty decent beat type. It had kind of that different sounds in the background that I thought was a very nice touch. And I just feel like overall it's definitely one of the better production songs that I've heard so far within the album. And then when we talk about lyrics, I love the singing performance of the what is it? The hook. Yes, the hook. I thought the hook was very fitting. Baby Keem's verse was very solid. Kendrick's verse was I would say somewhat controversial, but yet like very just entertaining to listen to because he's giving kind of that perspective of just kind of that freaky side of him that I thought was very funny within the song. But I thought he had a really good flow too. Obviously quoting Common, I never knew a love like this. I'm glad Common is low key getting the respect he deserves because I feel like he came up in an era where that kind of rap just was kind of fading out, and but he still gets represented as a very quotable artist, so I can definitely appreciate that. But when it comes to the song as a standalone song, it maybe not it's maybe not like a song I would listen to all the time, but I would listen to it every now and then. Like I wouldn't mind adding this on my playlist in maybe the next month or two and just vibing with it. But honestly, it's just right now not a song I'm like looking forward to listening to as much. So I would say it's a good song still.
I took that girl to my pad. I didn't see too much disloyalty. That's why I never put girl in my stash. She out here going body for body. And
next song we got on here is House Money, and I'ma just say featuring Kendrick, even though it doesn't say it in the title. Kendrick is in this song. I feel like when it comes to the production just fits so well whenever Baby Keem and Kendrick are on a song because they know what kind of beat type they want for this song. It's very different and it's very like out there, but I love the beat type on it. The beat type is definitely good. It's a very slower paced song, but I feel like again it's very fitting based on how they were able to flow on the track. Now, as far as Kendrick being the feature, I mean, he had a really good hook. Like the hook I felt like was almost too long, but at the same time, I'm like, you know what? It actually fits very well. He didn't necessarily have like a verse, but he just had that really good hook that could be a verse, if that makes sense. And I feel like Baby Keem's performance was very well put together. He was rapping at a fast pace, which I was kind of iffy on, but I feel like Baby Keem is one of those rappers that could rap at a fast pace on a slower beat and still keep up with the beat, if you know what I mean. So I feel like it made sense. I feel like again, this is one of those songs that are just kind of those hype songs that you kind of just listen to every now and then just to get the car jumping or get the party started in a way. But I would say again another safe song. There's nothing really that is a big highlight other than Kendrick doing the hook, but I would say again another good song.
I am not a lyricist.
Next song we got on here is I Am Not a Lyricist. I feel like this song is definitely one of the more important songs within this album, and I'll pretty much tell y'all why, but I want to get into production first. I feel like the production is very, very mellow. I love the piano sound in the background because whenever you hear kind of that piano sound in the background, you know you're getting a good storytelling song or a good perspective song, as I would like to call it, because piano sounds are just like it for hip hop. Like it's so fitting. But I feel like when we go into the lyrics wise, him saying I'm not a lyricist isn't really him representing that he's not gonna spit lyrical stuff. But I feel like nowadays many people take the lyrical rap as in spitting really big words like off of a dictionary. And that's not what a lyricist is. A lyricist is basically able to stay within a subject, you know what I'm saying, and stay within a realm that people can understand, because being too lyrical could mean nobody understands what you're saying. So use smaller words that people can understand, and then you could be quote as a great lyricist. And I feel like with Baby Keem saying he's not a lyricist, he is a lyricist. He's just not that kind of lyricist that people don't understand. He's a lyricist that people do understand. And that's why most people respect guys like, J. Cole, for instance, or Nas. Those guys are lyricists. And I would even say like the Tupacs and all that. Those are lyrical rappers. They're just not too lyrical to the point where it's like, what does that mean? You know what I'm saying? So I think this is a good representation on what a lyricist is and what a lyricist shouldn't be, because there's so many different type of lyricists out here that I wouldn't enjoy, but I enjoy this kind of lyricist rap because he explains it in the best way possible. So that's why I'm pretty much saying this is one of the more important songs, because he's letting you know what a lyricist really is instead of what a lyricist isn't. So I would say definitely one of the better songs within the album for sure.
I'm in the mood. We in Miami. I met a freak from Cincinnati.
Next song we got on here is Sex Appeal featuring Too Short. Not gonna lie to y'all, the fact that Too Short is still here and he's from the 80s, I have to give him props. He's been relevant for a very long time, and salute to him. But let's get into production first. I feel like the production is definitely fitting for a Too Short feature. I mean, it gives you kind of that party side, that, well, not party side, but club side to it, where you can get down on the dance floor and kind of just do your thing. And I feel like Too Short definitely gives it that like character within the song. Like he brings that creativity out of Baby Keem, even because Baby Keem was talking about certain things that I wasn't even really expecting. But with the song being Sex Appeal, obviously you're gonna hear a lot of sex appeal stuff, but it's just a different side of Baby Keem that I didn't think I was gonna hear within this album. So I thought it was very creative for that part in general. And then I feel like this isn't necessarily a song I would listen to like all the time, but I think I can appreciate it only because Too Short is still rapping, and the fact that Baby Keem probably wasn't even born when Too Short was probably at his highest of heights, but he recognizes him as one of the greats and puts him in a song. I think that's very, very cool. And it's something more rappers should do. Just bring certain rappers that used to be really good and just kind of bring them back to life in a way. Because I feel like that's a lost art in the rap game, if you ask me.
95 speeding on the highway.
Next song we got on here is Highway 95 Part 2. Now, I want to remind everybody I've never listened to Part 1. I don't know if that's on his albums or his mixtapes. I'm not exactly sure. But I'm going to dig into the song right now. I feel like when we talk about production, it is very a low key production. It has kind of a decent beat type, but I feel like this is a storytelling song. So usually when productions are like that, you know you're getting more of that storytelling side more than that production side of the song. But I feel like when we go into the lyrics wise, the lyrics I feel like are very, very important because he's basically representing how he got kind of left, just basically on the highway. His mom was doing a lot of stuff that was very bad for her, and how he just couldn't really live a life that maybe other people did, and he went through the struggle a lot. And I feel like storytelling songs low key lets me like vision like what was going on while he's telling the story, and he said it in such a calm way. It made me think like, dang, he did go through a lot before the rap game really happened. And I just think it's one of those things where I just feel like you got to put yourself in his shoes and think, my life ain't that hard if he's went through all that he's went through and now he's here to tell the story. So I think this is one of the better storytelling songs. I only say better because I feel like there's another one coming up that I actually liked a little bit more, but I feel like for storytelling aspects, he's did his thing with this one. So definitely, I would say one of the better storytelling songs, and I would argue one of the better songs in general within this album.
Who the fuck told you I wasn't that nigga? Who the fuck told you I wouldn't get bigger? 25 M's and now it's a sticker. Hating ass niggas waiting on me to slip.
Next song we got on here is Circus Circus Freestyle. I feel like the production right away just gives you that anticipation hype song. I could imagine him performing this song and people going absolutely crazy because it just brings that energy right away, especially with his rap performance. But let's talk about his rap performance. Why not? I feel like his cadence was definitely really, really good. He had all the energy in the world. His flow was amazing. Like this song says, it's a freestyle, so he's just literally freestyling. But it almost feels like he's giving us a different alter ego in like each verse. Like it's crazy. I think somebody in the comment section said that's like Kendrick's like evil twin in a way, which I have to agree. Like I feel like Baby Keem can be up there with a lot of the better rappers today, but we'll save that towards the end and explain the bigger reason why. But I feel like this song is cool. Like it's a cool song to listen to every now and then. Not personally on my playlist, but I'll probably go back to this song in the next like couple weeks and be like, you know what, I like this song. So I would say a pretty good song.
Dramatic girl, the word is fast, unapologetic.
Next song we got on here is Dramatic Girl featuring Che Ikru. Hopefully I said that right. This is one of those songs within the album where I feel like every rapper has this nowadays. They always have like a song that isn't a rap song. It's more of a song that they're just kind of experimenting, whether it's a pop song, a rock song, a country song, any kind of song like that they kind of experiment with, and this is one of them. I feel like the production, it's fine. Like, it's not like my favorite, but it does give you kind of that joy and uprising of happiness in a way, but like it's not what I was expecting out of this album, just period. And then I feel like when you get to the lyrics, it's again not a rap song. It's really him just singing and trying to just make a go lucky kind of song, and it's fine, but I'm like not that crazy about it. Like, it's not a song I would go back and listen to and be like, man, this song is so good, because it's not really his profession to do any different kind of songs other than rap at the moment. But again, it's a safe song, but it's almost like this is kind of an extra song that he added in here because he needed to make a maybe a longer length kind of album. So it's okay. So that's the best I got.
I don't blame you, mama. You was walking the streets alone, you couldn't shake the trauma. Chicago streets, the shit you seen been weighing on your conscience. I cry.
The last song we have on this album is No Blame. I feel like for the last song, he did very, very well from the intro all the way to the outro. And I'll pretty much explain why, but let's get into the production first. The production was very, very fitting because you could hear the raindrops like falling down on the floor, but you can also just hear a really good beat type with the piano sound, really dark piano sound in the background, which already lets me know, like, okay, another storytelling song is coming up, and we're about to get into that. So when it comes to the lyrics wise, I would say anticipation on getting kind of that crazy flow or crazy cadence. You're not getting that within this song, but you are getting a very good storytelling song. And I feel like what he's explaining is he doesn't blame his mama for like anything that has happened in his childhood, no matter how bad it was. And to sit up here and, you know, accept that, I feel like that takes a lot. That takes a lot in either a man or a woman, because, you know, if your mom left you and told you that she was coming back and she never came back, like, that could hurt a child, like, at such a young age. But I feel like he forgave his mom just like anybody should, because, you know, a lot of things can happen during childhoods that you maybe just don't understand until you grow up and realize, you know, maybe they had to do this to get here. You know, a lot of things have to happen to get to where you're at now. And I feel like he was able to give a really good perspective in such a short amount of time within this song. So I would argue this is the best storytelling song within the album. I would argue, but only because I feel like it could be somewhat relatable to a lot of people that go through it with their dad or go through it with their mom, and just, you know, getting that perspective within a song. And obviously hearing the sound of his voice, it sounds like very passionate. It sounds like he's hurt, you know what I mean? So I feel like that's what makes a really good context is what I meant to say, kind of song. So I would say definitely one of the better outros I hadn't heard in a while. But overall, I would say a pretty solid song. So yeah. All right, y'all, we are at one of the most important parts of the video, and that is the five credentials that I'll put on the list. Hopefully I leave that there so I can talk about each part of each category of the 5 credentials. But we are going to talk about the 5 credentials, and the first one being production. I feel like the production was definitely well put together, very versatile, very creative, gave us many different sounds, very good samplings, and I feel like he didn't go too off the board with it. He kind of stayed in a comfortable spot where he's like, I know people will like this production because it fits me. So honestly, in terms of production 1 through 10, I'd probably give like a solid 8. I feel like an 8 out of 10 is fair. So definitely very good production. Now we're going into features. Not very many features within this album because the album is short. It only has 11 songs. But I feel like features like Kendrick, like Too Short, pretty much the only two features I recognize. I thought were very good performance. I feel like Kendrick always comes in like a madman when it comes to features. He's definitely one of the better people to have as a feature artist. He just does his thing and he does it very well. Obviously, Too Short had a very good performance, very fitting. If I had to rate it 1 through 10, I would give it a solid 7, only because there was only really two features that stood out to me. And if it wasn't for those two features, if those two features didn't exist, I'd probably give this like a 3 or 2 out of 10. But honestly, a 7 out of 10 is pretty good. Next we got is rap performance. Rap performance to me was very, very well put together. There was no lyrical thing that he said that was like, oh my god, like he's a genius. But I feel like from a storytelling aspect, he definitely did very well. His flow was very, very good. Cadence was amazing. Very underrated for the most part. So honestly, rap performance, I would give a solid 9 out of 10. I think his rap performance was very well. I would argue a little bit better than Melodic Blue. Might be a hot take, but just my guess. Next we got is context, and I feel like this goes within the album of the storytelling aspect. I feel like Baby Keem is definitely one of the better storytelling young rappers of this generation, but he just doesn't put it out enough. And what I mean by that is Melodic Blue came out, as y'all know, in I think 2021. This album, with being his second album, came out in 2026. So that's a very long time of not getting Baby Keem. So I just feel like context was definitely really good. I understand the subjects. I understand like the storytelling aspect of it. So if I'm being honest, I would probably give that one a 9 out of 10 too. Did I say 9 out of 10? Yes. 9 out of 10 on context, because I just feel like he was able to keep us engaged and keep us anticipated on listening to the next storytelling song. So definitely really dope. And the last credential we have is album cover. I think y'all know how I am with these kind of album covers. There's no real creativeness when it comes to these, because I just feel like it's kind of basic in a way. Like, there's nothing that stands out other than a baby, or shouldn't say baby, but a younger picture of Baby Keem that it just doesn't give enough character to me. Like, I guess if I seen this in a vinyl store, maybe I would listen to it, but it's a big maybe, because it just doesn't really stand out, because I've seen so many album covers of baby pictures and older pictures of somebody. So for me, I feel like when it comes to the album cover, I'm gonna give it a solid 5 out of 10. It just doesn't stand out to me. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. Like, if I roll past many albums, I'm just gonna roll past this album as well as far as album covers. So yeah, 5 out of 10 is safe. Now, when it comes to the album as a whole, if I'm giving it 1 through 10, thinking about how long it took to come out with this album, thinking about how long length the album is, only giving us 11 songs, I would give it a solid 7 out of 10. It's not that the album is bad, it's just how long it took to make this album, rather than he could have made this 2 years in advance, or 2 years before, or 2 years after Melodic Blue would have came out. It just, I hate the anticipation of waiting that long to get another album from another potential great artist. And for me, I just feel like if I have to wait that long, I'm going to have to give it a pretty low score. But at least he didn't wait as long as ASAP Rocky, because 8 years is insane. I wouldn't have been able to wait 8 years and still be engaged. And that's what lacked within this album, is just being engaged. So I'm going to give it a solid 7 out of 10, because I feel like that's the safest rating I could really give it. But with all that being said, I hope y'all enjoyed the video. If y'all did, like, comment, and no, like, subscribe, and comment down below what other album reviews y'all want me to do. Also, click the link down in my description for all my social medias. But yeah, that's it, man. Short album review I cannot be mad at. So I'll catch y'all next time.